Hello, nice to meet you. Mrs. Collar, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nice to meet you, Mr. Cristiano. Thanks for taking the time and coming to that plant.
That's all.
As far as I'm concerned, negotiations have been going on for a while now, so I'm happy you got the time to meet once again, and I really hope that we can get down to business and figure out a solution that's good for both of us.
I hope it's gonna work this time, effectively. Yeah.
For sure.
So you received my list, right? With the
I did.
request?
Thanks for sending it to me in advance. If you're fine with that, I would like to start negotiations right from the beginning now. We both know what it's all about. Negotiations have been going on.
We don't need to lose time now.
Exactly. So first of all, you requested about free birthdays. I read about it and I have to say I was kind of surprised. I did some research and there's no other company in that business sector, or as far as I'm concerned anyway, who offers that kind of service to the employees. So I would like to ask you, why do you want it from us?
Of course. So let's remember that you are not like the other companies. You are a big plant. You are one of the biggest in the area, and in order to satisfy the need of your employee, because your employees are working so hard during all year long, and it would be nice to tell them thank you through this birthday gift.
So if they want to have a nice birthday gift, I'm sure they can have a nice party in the evening with their family. But I think as an employer, it's none of our business to be like great day, like happy, like nice celebrations that you've been born. And therefore, if you can't show me now any data that shows that any other great big companies offer that service as well, I think we should move on to other more crucial points. Because this is off limits for us. If you've got employees, sometimes they get longer breaks on their birthdays, where they can already celebrate with their colleagues, eat some birthday cake, and that's all they get.
I see your position for this point. Let's move to the others and see how it's going first.
So the second point you sent me, as far as I'm concerned, is the laundry services. Now here I have to say, as a company, that we value it when our employees have a nice appearance going on. For instance, when they have their working clothes, when we're showing other people around the company, we need them to wear like really nice clothing sometimes, and we don't want them to have stains. So I get the laundry service, we understand it as a company, and I had discussions with my employees, some of them, and we said it would be okay for only the employees, but not for the families. You know, we're from Europe, we have smaller families. Over there you could discuss it, but over here in Mexico there are massive families, some are bigger than others, so it would be unfair to say with one person with only like 3 kids to get the same service as one with 10 kids.
I understand your position. Now just try to understand what I'm saying. Those employees are working during all the day long, so they don't have time to go to the laundry service and bring their clothes and the clothes of their family. So it will be like helping them and helping you, giving them this free service. Even more, don't forget that you cannot control and be sure that one employee, for example a male, is not going to bring the clothes of his brother, or the same of his parents, of his children. So at the same time, checking or controlling these facts going to be too costly for you. Why we wouldn't agree, for example, about a maximum of kilos that each employee could bring. I was thinking about 10 kilos each 2 weeks, for example.
When it comes to weight, we would have to check that as well, wouldn't we?
Of course,
when
but
you're talking about
it's going to be
checking
easier.
weight,
It's going to be
it's
easier.
not going to be easier. Then we need to have another employee just weighing different clothing.
No,
And you could see it if there's like a child knickers or something in there. You see that it's definitely of one of our employees. Although you're right about the point with checking in general, what we had is another company that I was working for. We had laundry bags that were like an approximate good size for like just the uniforms of our workers. It was like a factory plant, and we said that this would be like a laundry bag, and I could kind of like agree on that one as well, that we give our employees a laundry bag and they can come to the laundry service, I don't know, every month to every 2 weeks, just bring the bag filled with clothes and then get their clean clothes back, but still not for family members.
Okay, and more or less, What's the capacity of those bags?
I think it was about 5 kilograms,
Oh,
more or less.
Okay, so we can agree on 5 kilograms each 2 weeks, so it's gonna be 10
5
per month?
kilograms, 2 weeks, 10. Yes,
Yes?
we can do that.
Okay, so
Let me write it
let's
down.
write it down. So we can move straight to the next point, I think.
Are you good with that? Talking about the transportation service now? Why do you think this is necessary for our company?
You know that main of your employees and they have families, so it's really hard for them to have this uncomfortable inconvenient. They have to be on time all the time. They cannot afford any surprise. For example, if a child is sick or if a child is late for eating and they need first to bring him to school and then to take the bus. So I think it will be like, again, helping them and helping you in order to have a better quality of life and so be more focused at work. So this is the reason why we need 16 buses in total instead of 12 like now.
So we already have quite a lot of buses at the moment, I have to say. We value family quality time. I don't get your point about bringing your kids to school, because every other person gets it as well. When I'm going to my work, I have to drop off my kids before school as well. However, I understand the fact of family quality time, just because I myself like to have breakfast with my kids sometimes. And also I noticed some of the workers showing up tired at work and not delivering like the best performance.
That's true.
So I think if we can give you 13 buses and increase 1 bus.
I mean, do you really think that increasing just by 1 bus is going to help your employees? Because maybe it's going to help 15, 20, 30 of them.
So what would you think about, because 16 increasing 4 buses is a lot?
So since you are giving one more to me, I will say just decrease it for 1. Give me 15 buses.
15.
Yeah.
We can say 15, but then I want to write down in the contract as well that we will reevaluate it in about half a year, 6 months, and see if it improved our workers' performance in any way, and if like they have less time and if we can't see any changes, we want to renegotiate this point.
Of course, we will see what you mean exactly by production increment.
Really?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, we will see that later maybe. Let's see the next point. About what do you want to talk now? Which point do you
There's one point that seemed very crucial to me, the headcount increase of 3% a year that you were asking for. Mr. Graciano, I've been honest with you, I've given you answers, stepped back on some stuff, so I think now it's your time to give something back to me as a company. And that's the answer to the question, why do you think we need that? And why do you think it's any of your business in this kind of like working requirement? As we are just a company, we know how many employees we need. And where would you need these employees? Where do you see these employees needed in our company?
So,
and what do you think gives you the right to tell us what to employ?
I mean, I represent your employees. So this is why I have the right to come to you and tell you what your employees ask me and what I think as well that they need. Because sometimes, you know, we cannot express exactly what we need, but people around us can understand what we need because they can see what we are missing. And exactly, I receive the answers of your employee and I see as well that they need something. And what they miss is time for them because they're doing so much overtime. They're working so much for your company.
Do you have data showing that my employees spend that much overtime over here at the moment? Do you have letters from the employees saying that they need more workers? And can you tell us? Because I talked to our HR manager and we don't have needs of more workers at the moment.
That's the issue. Your HR manager, he was asking them directly.
We're not discussing my HR manager. We can move on to that later. Now I'm talking about this specific point.
Yes,
and if you can't deliver me any data, I think we can just skip that point and move to something that's more serious at the moment. As I don't want to discuss anything that's none of the business of the labor union where you can't even prove me anything.
So let's move down to the food coupons because I want to see if now we can find an agreement
Thank
or
you,
not.
saving some
Because
time, that would be great.
yeah, would be
Thank
nice.
you.
Okay. So for food coupons, what's your answer? Because
The food coupons, let me just, you said that you want an increase of 11%, right?
exactly, yeah.
We can't do that. That's far too much. That's more than 10% increase on food coupons, whilst we didn't have that many complaints about it at all. I did some, just let me recalculate it, but we did some
Maximum?
calculations. We said that our maximum would be 9% increase, which would be
Let's agree on it. It's okay. I already know.
7,700 pesos each month for
Yeah.
food coupons.
9% is okay for me.
9%?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to one. You mentioned it before. Our HR manager.
Yeah. I mean, you know that your employees they want
So
him leaving the company,
yeah,
and that's not negotiable. I think,
we
because-
can fire him. I'm good with that.
Okay, nice.
The only thing we have to be aware of, if I'll fire him now, like I don't mind, we can immediately let him go. Just be aware that there won't be any salary increases for the employees because we need someone to kind of like to implement all the negotiated parts of the deal, and he knows the business, and in order to get like the time and the money to get someone else who get to know the business, we can't do the salary increase, I'm afraid.
I mean, yeah, I'm sad about this news because I thought that you would fire as well.
Sure,
and
I
that
can fire him. I don't mind.
needed 6 months to inform you about this situation, but if I have to choose between the HR manager and the salary, of course I will choose the salary because.
Will you? Okay. Are you
So-
sure? Like I don't mind.
I mean, it depends because we need to talk about the salary right now.
Okay. So what did you have in mind concerning the salary?
You receive my request is 2%
Above
above
inflation.
inflation.
Yeah. Again, I wanted to know why would you say 2% above inflation? I didn't find any data showing anywhere that there are other competitors doing that, and I think it's far too much. No one else does it. And can you tell me any proper reason why we should have to increase it that much?
Yeah, I think that your company cannot be compared to other companies. Your plant actually is one of the best in the country.
Sure, it is already one of the best. Why would we have to change that?
Exactly. And so if you want to have as well the best employees, you need to motivate them. You need to show them how they care for you.
But why above inflation? That doesn't make any sense.
So what will be your answer?
We said that we could do 3% lower the current inflation, just because some other companies are doing that as well. I can show you the information regarding that.
You know what I like about negotiation
Sure. What do you like, Mr. Garcia?
is that both parts have a different answer, but sometimes
sure,
you
and
can
sometimes some requests are a bit bonkers.
exactly, and sometimes you can find an arrangement in the middle. So you're asking for 3% above, and I'm asking for 2% below.
I'm asking
pardon,
for 3% below. Yes.
and I'm asking for 2% above.
Okay.
So why we shouldn't just find an arrangement in the middle? Let's say 0% at the inflation.
At the inflation.
Yeah.
I won't do that, but I'm happy to step back and say 1% below inflation.
Yeah.
Do we have a deal?
Really, yeah.
Okay.
Really nice.
Thank you. Can we sum up the
I think it would be
negotiating
nice.
points?
So you told me no birthday, free day.
Exactly.
We agreed on the laundry service 2 times 10 kilos
Yes.
in total per month. Transportation 15 buses.
With the chance of renegotiation if the buses are not needed.
Exactly. Headcount, we said exactly no increase, but maybe we can talk about this, and I will say in few months we can talk again about this subject because if there is a need, it will be nice as well to increase it.
You can sit down again with our HR manager and then see if there's any need for employees in specific parts of the work.
Okay, really nice. I hope you're gonna be as well at the session. And for the food coupons, 9%, no firing the HR manager, and 1% below the current inflation.
Perfect. Thanks, Mr. Gracia.
Was a pleasure.
It was a nice meeting. Thank you.